God aften og rigtig hjertelig velkommen til Christiania Live. Han skal spille på Børneteatret i aften, Christianias Jazzklub. Han kommer fra Greensboro, North Carolina. Han er i countrykredse blevet beskrevet som total hamrende sindssyg, burde spærres inde af den ene halvdel, og af den anden halvdel. Han hjælper os, at vi ikke bliver sindssyge, fordi han bryder konventionerne, sådan at vi kan føle os fri. Han er af Reagans talsmand blevet beskrevet som den største trussel imod the American way of life. Jeg byder velkommen til Eugene Chadborne. Hello, welcome Eugene.
Thanks.
The biggest threat to the way of the American way of life. How can a banjo player be that?
Can't be. Nobody ever said that. So.
Nobody ever said that.
No.
But it says many places.
I know. They like to print that over and over again, but nobody.
But
where
does it come from?
It was someone made that up and put it on a poster.
Yeah.
And ever since then, there's no stopping people quoting it and saying. Yeah, I don't know how many times I've told people nobody ever said that, but because it's ridiculous. It's
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's the opposite, really. I'm a product of the American way of life. I mean, America's full of musicians.
Yeah.
Doing whatever the hell they want.
And you've been a musician for all your life?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Country music. What I just said in Danish was that somebody said that you were insane and you should be locked
that
up.
they've said.
And another part said that you were keeping them from not being insane because you broke conventions.
Well, that's true. A bass player for Dolly Parton told me that. I had kept him from going insane. Yeah, I used to put in my press kit, there was a quote, "Every critic that's ever reviewed him has called him insane." I always liked that one.
They said that about you?
Somebody wrote that.
Okay. Could we hear some kind of an insane number then?
Well, you wanted a country
number
a country.
or insane number.
So it's both. So anyway,
it's insane country number.
This is country music that I heard first on the radio when I was a child. They mixed all this music together, rock and roll, country, soul music. It was all mixed together. So now we have a kind of ghettos for each type of music on the radio. But so I was familiar with songs like this, and then later, when I wanted to go back to it, I kind of wanted to give it a jazz feeling too. So that's what some of the country musicians liked about it, and then to other people, it makes it sound like it's insane or something. But anyway, this is a song from Roger Miller, who was a country and western songwriter that was very successful and had a lot of jazzy kind of things happening in his music. And they recorded 6 or 7 songs very spontaneously, I think over about a week or even less, and then very simple instrumentation, and then over the next 2 years they had these, one after another, were hits on the radio. Trailer for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no pool, no pet, I ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 4-bit room. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road, third boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Mania, old worn out suit and shoes. I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all of the children and all of their names, every handout in every town, and every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. I singing Trailer for sale or rent. Rooms to let, 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pet. I ain't got no cigarettes. I know every engineer on every train. All the children and all of their names. Every handout in every town. And every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. Trailer for sale or rent. Rooms to let, 50 cents. No phone, no pool, no pet. I ain't got no cigarettes. 2 hours of pushing broom. Buys an 8x12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means. King of the road.
Thank you. Thank you, King of the Road. Out of cigarettes, I'm not out of cigarettes, so if you need any, you can just roll one or something like that. But you Americans, you don't smoke, don't you?
I don't smoke tobacco.
No.
But some Americans do. They love it.
Yeah. But it's almost illegal everywhere now, isn't it?
It's kind of coming back, you know.
Okay. You fled to Canada.
Yes, yeah. So I wouldn't have to go to the Vietnam War.
Why?
Why? I didn't. This is a Danish irony.
Yes.
You know, the draft counselor, I think he said that I should try to go to Denmark, Sweden, or Canada. Canada was easiest.
Yeah.
Some people went to
Nearby.
Sweden or Denmark.
Okay.
Americans.
But it was possible to get back?
Yeah, well, they had a pardon for most everybody. Jimmy Carter did that.
Okay. Yeah. But during your time in Canada, you played. You were a host in something called Radio,
Yeah.
104.5 cable FM.
Well, that and you know, and that's the kind of thing I'm really surprised that people know about that, or that in a way not, because it's very well documented. But at the time that I was involved in that, I never thought that people would be talking about it 50 years later.
It's a pirate radio.
It was pirate radio. It was well. What happened in Calgary right around the time I went there as a draft dodger was that the cable television came in for the first time, and the government, the city, maybe it was the province, I don't remember the exact details, but the agreement was the cable TV company could come in and set up their stuff and sell their services, but they had to provide community programming on both the over the cable television network. And one of the things they did was they put in a radio station.
Okay.
So, and I right away, it was like, oh, you can bring your Pharoah Sanders records over there and play them on the radio. So anyway, we were sometimes, there wasn't much else to do, you know. It's 30 below zero, and you go over there and spend the Friday night hanging out with people and spinning records. And then we got into this thing playing live improvised music over the television and turning the cameras on. All this was going on in the cable TV, and this was where this started. But then eventually the radio operation moved out of the cable television building and had its independent office where they were broadcasting over cable. You would hear it on the cable TV. I think you could also hook your radio up to cable, FM radio, and then you would hear it.
Okay.
And you had a lot of programming from like people with good record collections that were interested in different things. That wasn't like they had a library there. And then when there was nobody on live, they had tapes going around, 6-hour tapes that would repeat. And somehow they kept that on the air, and they were trying to get a license, you know, because they have very strict control over the radio in Canada.
Yeah.
You're not really allowed to do that, so that was just pirate radio. After a while, the cable company wasn't really responsible for them anymore, and they were trying to get an actual permit and trying to raise money for that, and that was what was going on, and it went on for a few more years after I left, and I think even shifted to another location.
It's still there, isn't it?
I'm not sure if they still No, I don't think they still broadcast that.
I tried to find it on the internet, and I got some kind of rock station from...
Yeah, I don't think it's... No. It hasn't been active for a while.
Did you have a special character as a host? Did you talk in a special way or anything?
I had one show called The Great White Disc Jockey, and this was supposed to be a kind of an ethnic music program, and we had ethnic music. We played music from all around the world.
Yeah.
And we had these contests, like if you could recognize the piece of music, we would send a pizza to your house and stuff like that. And then there was a guy
interactive.
You know, there was several people playing just weird free jazz for hours and hours and really pissing people off. I mean, I had a guy come down to the station banging on the door once.
Why didn't he just shut up the radio?
Well, when it's 30 degrees below zero outside, would snow up to here. For that guy to come out, the music must and do that. You think, well, the music's has a lot of power.
How did you pick up the banjo?
Well, I just I came into I've fooled around with them. I got my first one, I think, when I was 15. I remember trying to learn to play Indian music on it for some reason, but a little later I got another one that I could take on the road, and I kept practicing it until it became like my second instrument, kind of equal to, you know, as much as I play the guitar. Sometimes I play it more.
Yeah, and you you make some kind of abstraction when you play. You play a tune and then you kind of make it wild or make it weird and make it special in some way.
Improvising. Yeah.
It's improvising, yeah. What makes you improvise? How do you do it?
I don't know. I can't help from doing it. And I mean, the songs, there's different parameters. You know, there's the chord changes, and then there's I'm going to leave the chord changes, and then I'm going to come back to them maybe. And then there's other things too. You could be thinking about what the song means. You know, that's really important to me.
So you get inspired to play something according to what it means.
Yeah, I think it has an influence, definitely.
Yeah. Could we have a little test on something like that on the banjo?
What?
Some abstraction on it. A tune that is getting abstract.
Well, I think, they all do in a way. Some of it is about also playing something someone doesn't expect on the banjo. Like this is a nice old Jimi Hendrix song. So if the chords are really nice, then you can play it on any instrument, and it takes on a different character. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus mind that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and a fairy tale. That's all she ever thinks about. riding with the wind. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles, gives to me free. It's all right, she says. It's all right. Take anything you want from me. Anything.
That sounds very abstract. Are you on acid?
No, now.
Not now.
Now, if you're on acid, you'd be kind of staring at your fingerboard, and it would be moving around. You know. We had a terrible experience as teenagers with our little cheesy high school band.
Yeah.
You know, the guys, the rhythm guitar player's older brother came back from college. You know, so he says, "Oh, we want to hear you guys play." And we were all on acid, and I'm like, man, I don't want to play. I was really tripping at it. So they made us set up and play, and the guitar, I remember the neck was, and then when we couldn't play, they were like laughing at us and everything. So now I've heard about people that do that, but that's
It's for people who have moved further.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, anyway.
No. Denmark.
Yes.
How did you come up with playing banjo in Denmark?
Well, I play
visiting Denmark.
I play banjo everywhere I go, so I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But what is your connection with Denmark?
Well, I mean, why do I need to? I don't have any connection with any country other than I go there and play. I mean, you know, if I can. So.
Have you been most all over the world?
No. But I've played in every country in Europe except Albania.
Except Albania.
Albania. I've never played in Albania.
You have to put it on your to-do list.
Well, there's certain places. I still haven't played a concert in Wyoming or New Hampshire, North or South Dakota. Those are still on the list. Yeah, but I've played in all the Scandinavian countries.
Tonight you're playing with Christian Osgood.
I guess if it's tonight, it sounds more like it'll be tomorrow morning.
Yeah. How did you get in touch with him?
I met him through Luther Thomas originally. I think that was the first time I remember meeting him. We all played at a concert on the.
Luther Thomas was a saxophone player and.
He was a friend from New
improviser.
York that moved
Yeah.
here. Yeah, he came here and stayed
Originally
here.
from St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because I once interviewed you on my bicycle.
Yes,
Yeah, and I picked you up at Luther's place.
that's right.
Yeah.
That was me reconnecting with Luther after many years.
Yeah. You used to play with Luther, Thomas?
A little bit. I mean, I remember when he came to New York, but we had these separate sort of scenes. But I remember we kind of we had some contact, and especially he started this series of it was a Sunday combination free jazz mass he was performing as a preacher.
Yeah.
And we were invited to check those out.
Okay.
And I remember after one of those, there was a very crazy jam session with a lot of different people that you wouldn't expect to hear playing together, and then maybe they weren't really because they were playing in different parts of the building and stuff. But
Okay.
that's one thing I remember about Luther.
Yeah. When we had a hard time tonight finding each other, and you also wrote me on the email that I find Christiania confusing.
Yeah, I always get lost. It's like Venice, kind of.
Yeah, I actually remember Luther Thomas saying to me that when the first time when I went there, it was like a midnight carnival.
Uh-huh. It does get to be kind of like you're at the carnival in the real crowded parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we found each other.
You
so
did
now
find me. I was, you know.
You were sitting there in the
out in
cold
front of
outside the jazz club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. Okay, you're gonna play tonight at the jazz club, Christiania's jazz club.
Yes.
What can people expect?
That it's going to start late. That's as far as I know.
Have to hang around.
And then yeah, we've been having a lot of fun playing together, Kristen and I.
Yeah, you
Nice
played a couple of concerts in
combination
Copenhagen.
of stuff. He enjoys all the stuff I come up with. So
He's also a great improviser.
he's really great. Yeah.
And now his new thing is to do this mouth sounds.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, he did that in the concert.
Oh, okay.
He just didn't.
I didn't pick up on that.
Okay. Thank you for visiting Christiania Live.
My pleasure.
And have a nice concert tonight. And maybe we should finish with some kind of
Yes.
tune.
Yeah, a great idea. Oh. Try this one out. Brightest light all that's been built bells ring. It's a tilt undeserved. Come up and sing the world's end. Experience just like real sales pitch proclaims the cyclone brush, the endless rain impossible to tell. Uncommon from common sense. Some don't get their money's worth. Seeing signs of a new birth. Going out and nothing's changed. Just goes on and on, like an unfair trade. It's not about wonder. It's not about guilt or the river without the silt or the washing never instant. The world ends experience.
Yeah, Eugene Chadborne, mine damer og herrer. Tak, Eugene. Thank you.
Sure.